Today in this class, we are going to discuss the new chapter, strategies for enhancement in food production. Strategies for enhancement in the food production. In this, different concepts are present. So, in the different concept means different parts are present. First one, animal breeding. Second one, plant breeding, and third one, it is single cell proteins and tissue culture methods. There are four different types of topics wise are present. So, first of all, we are going to discuss the plant breeding. We will discuss plant breeding, single cell protein, tissue culture. Animal breeding we will discuss with the zoologists. And first of all, we are going to start the plant breeding. Plant breeding topic. So, in the plant breeding, first of all, we are going to discuss traditional farming. Traditional farming. What is meant by here the traditional farming? Traditional farming means it is the oldest plant breeding technology. Actually, nowadays you can see different hybrid varieties are produced. So, these hybrid varieties are developed from old varieties, that means ancestor varieties. These ancestor varieties used nowadays are developed to hybrid varieties. That's it. What you are eating, everything the food material. So all these are, there is no wild varieties. Most of them, this is the hybrid varieties we are eating and we are cultivated everything. So, first of all, we are going to discuss is the traditional farming. In this traditional farming, it can only limited in biomass is produced. Okay, this yield is limited in biomass. Here yield is limited in biomass. So, in this method, yield is produced limited in biomass. That means how it is yield is produced? Here the traditional farming means actually the farmers are use the natural resources. And what are the chemical fertilizers are present that only are used into the crop areas. What are their means own knowledge? Actually their own knowledge like that. So such a methods are used. So the production of yield is limited in biomass. Okay. So this limited in biomass is used as food for human beings and animals. Human beings and animals. Once again, see this traditional farming. This traditional farming means here it can only yield is limited in biomass. So the yield is limited in biomass. How it is produced? This is biomass. That means the material. The yield means what is the productivity? Yield means what you call productivity. The productivity is limited in biomass only. How it is? The farmers are used their what is this? Main natural resources are, what are the natural resources are present? Not only natural resources are used, utilized to the crop varieties, and also chemical fertilizers that are only used. So as a result, what will happen means here yield is limited. So that limited biomass is nowadays are used as a food, human beings and also animals. Okay, so this is the oldest plant breeding method. Next, after that, plant breeding programs are developed. Plant breeding programs before better management practices. Better management practices. Better management practices. In these better management practices also, what will happen? It is increasing the yield. Here, increasing the yield, but limited extent only. Okay, so number of different methods are used. The farmers, okay, and of scientists are. So during that time, this better management practices, as a result, what will happen? It is increasing the yield, but only limit extent only. Little bit only it can be increased. Okay, that's it. Later, introducing the methods, that means plant breeding techniques. Plant breedings are introduced. So in this plant breeding is introduced here in such a way, increasing the any crop yield, increasing the any crop yield, but in very large extent. Large extent. So here it is very large extent, it is increasing the yield. Okay. So what is matter of plant breeding? We will see next points. Okay. Plant breeding. Plant breeding techniques are used. What will happen? It is increasing the yield. So how it is in the very large extent only. In large extent it is increasing the yield. So these are the main breeding programs are used. So first of all, traditional farming methods they are introduced. So introduced means what are the general methods are there? The general methods are used. So that only biomass productivity can be produced. After that, it is a better management practices are used. They are increasing their yield, but limited extent only, not much. So after that, it is a plant breeding techniques are introduced. These plant breeding techniques are used. We are increasing the yield very large extent only. Okay. So after that. During the after independence, so the developing during the 1960, during that time here, green revolution is introduced to the scientists. In this green revolution, what happened? In the green revolution is responsible to our country. Okay, during the 1960s later, it is responsible for in our country not only meat for national food processing, it is also for even export purpose also. Okay, so here what is this? Here it is responsible. The green revolution is responsible for in our country. Why? Because it is green revolution means whenever it is green revolution is came, so automatically the techniques are developed, the plant breeding techniques are developed, automatically it is increasing the yield. So the green revolution, it is introduced during the 1960. That was introduced means during such a time 1960 time means so automatically all the productivities, even rice, sugarcane, everything after that wheat, job, maize, everything that is developed. So in such a condition, yield also increased. At the same time, disease resistance varieties also developed. So that's it. Okay. So during the 1960s, they are introducing made that the different methods of planting techniques are used. So in all the country you can see the green revolution time. So in the green revolution time, it is responsible in our country, and also not only meet the national requirement, not only the national requirement, during such a time also will start the export. Will start the export. Okay, even in export. So in the green revolution, mainly dependent on. Okay, it is mainly dependent on particularly some plant breeding techniques. Okay, plant breeding techniques. Okay, dependent on plant breeding techniques. As a result, increasing the yield, and also disease resistant varieties. Disease resistant varieties. So this disease resistant varieties, you can see the example: wheat, maize, and rice varieties. Okay, wheat and maize, rice varieties. Wheat, maize, rice varieties are developed. That's it. Okay. So the green revolution, whenever it starts, so this during such a time, 1960 time, it is dependent on plant breeding techniques. So they are, how it is the plant breeding techniques, we will see the continue in the next class also. So these plant breeding techniques are used here. All the crop varieties we are increasing the yield, and also disease resistant varieties are developed. Disease resistance means, so actually it is any insect pest or damage the crop. So actually previous what is the say, if you insects are, it can be damage the crop, the farmers are, we are utilizing what is this one, some of the chemicals, that means insecticides and pesticides are used. But nowadays what will happen, so the disease resistant plants are developed, disease resistant varieties. So the whenever that is the insect, any organism, any animal, it can be spoil the crop, that means they are taking food from that. So whenever any some of the components are, it is introduced into the plant varieties, that is not affected to the crop variety. Okay, so that's why because in the plant already such a resistant variety genes are developed. Those genes are, it is it is protecting the protecting from such insect and pest. Okay, such insects and pest varieties. So that's why nowadays such a disease resistant varieties are developed. So such a disease resistant varieties, wheat, maize, and rice varieties are developed. Okay, once again see, this is green revolution after independence. That means during the 1960s latter. During the 1960s time, it starts the green revolution. Means increasing the yield. Why? Because they are utilizing the different plant breeding techniques. So in such a way, okay, not only it is increasing the food, not only it can be increasing the food processing units. That means nationally food production can be increased. At the same time, it is also exporting, it can be started. That means even it exported it. So this green revolution dependent on plant breeding techniques. As a result, we are increasing the yield, and also disease resistant varieties are developed, particularly wheat, maize, jowar, and other varieties are developed. That's it. Okay, next. Next concept, what is meant by here the plant breeding. Define plant breeding. It is the purposeful manipulation of plant species. Manipulation of plant species. Manipulation of plant species. As a result, what will happen? As a result, here to creating what is this one? To creating a desirable plants. To create a desirable plant types. Desirable plant types. So here manipulation of plant species to creating a desirable plant types and better to cultivate and give better yield and better to cultivate and give better yield. That's what you call means plant breeding. Once again, see, it is the purposeful manipulation of plant species. Manipulation means what? It is change. Whatever it is the plant species, whatever it is any plant species, from the plant species particular desirable particular character we have to change. Suppose particular plant it's not give yield. Okay, which one is the yield producing genes are present in the plant? What are the genes are yields will give? What are the genes it gives? Such a plant, this is the plant. This plant, which genes are yield is produced? Such a genes we are modified. Which are such a genes are we are modified. That means manipulated, changed. As a result, what will happen? To creating a desirable plant types. Such a plant, how it is formed? Desirable plant. Desirable means it gives well efficient. Here, normal plant, we don't give better yield. So, this desirable character, whenever it is introduced such a place, automatically it is increasing the yield. So, such a plants are cultivated, gives better yield. Such a technique we call it is a plant breeding. Once again, see, manipulation of plant species. Whatever it is the plant is present, that plant, their genes character we have to change. Whenever it is changed, how to convert it? It is a desirable plant. Desirable means it is a superior, superior or and supernatant plant. That means it is some special quality from the plant. So special quality means it gives better yield maybe, or maybe such a plant having disease resistance and also such a variety are present. Such a desirable plant, then we are cultivated and gives better yield. Such a technique we call it is a plant breeding. Such a technique we call plant breeding. Okay. So next here in plant breeding data, some other definitions are given. Conventional breeding. Okay, so this conventional breeding means here what you call means it is a traditional breeding. So traditional breeding means already I said traditional farming. So this is the very oldest technology. So mainly it is the practice for thousands of years. Mainly it is practice of thousands of years, and also main being, particularly such a technology we are main being of human civilization time. Such a technique mainly you can see being a back to here 9,000 years to 11,000 years ago. 11,000 years ago. So this is the conventional breeding or traditional breeding means that is practices. Such what are the crop varieties are? Such all these crop varieties of farmers are that can be practiced for thousands of years. Okay. So these thousands of years will make it is a human civilization time. So such a technique plant breeding techniques are nearly about 9,000 to 11,000 years ago. Such a techniques are followed. That means already we discussed traditional farming method. So whatever it is the natural resources, whatever it is the chemicals that we are used the farmers, such a farming method, such a breeding method we call it is a conventional breeding method and a traditional breeding method. Next after that it is introducing we are discuss the classical plant breeding methods. Classical plant breeding before we are going to discuss is the domestication. What is meant by here the domestication? What is meant by here the domestication? Domestication method means actually domestic means house, right? So we are using the wild varieties. That means particularly the process of wild varieties and human management. Okay, the process of wild varieties and human management we call it is domestication. What is the meaning you can see? The definition is not present in your textbook. Okay, in this definition, the process of wild varieties. Wild varieties means ancient varieties under human management. And human management, that process we call it is domestication. Present days, many of the crops present days. So the wild varieties are taken. So from the wild varieties, what are the desirable features are used? What are the desirable characters are present? Such a characters we are isolate and also hybridized. So as a result, nowadays we can producing the different crop varieties. So whatever it is nowadays we are eating, that means fruits also, vegetable also. So these are they are taken from all the characters. Okay, nowadays what we are eating, food material, and also next vegetables. Okay, and also what you are eating means particularly vegetables and also fruits and other varieties. They are all these things. They are better yield. They are all these are better yield crops. So this better yield, how it is came? Particularly they are taken from wild varieties. From the wild varieties, a particular definite character is present. That means a specific character is present. Such a specific character may be production of particular protein, maybe particular vitamin, maybe so particular resistance power, maybe such a characters we will take separate that are introduced into another plant. Okay, such a plant it will be produced now. It is a new variety crop, and also such a crop variety, that's a new variety crop. It is a production of it is high yielding. That's way nowadays it can be used. So all the domesticated nowadays we are using many of the crops they are taken from under the wild varieties only. Okay, next classical plant breeding. Classical plant breeding. So in the classical plant breeding, so cross or hybridization of pure lines, okay, pure lines, and then followed by artificial selection. As a result, here increasing the yield, and also disease resistant plants, and also here producing the increasing the yield, the plants with the desirable characters. Okay, the plants with yield and also plants with desirable plants with desirable characters can be produced. Okay, the desirable characters are produced. Such a desirable characters means what? Here it is increasing the yield, particularly it can be increasing the yield and also nutrition and also disease resistance. Okay, resistant to disease, anyone resistance to disease. So such a varieties are developed. Once again see, the classical plant breeding means the cross or hybridization of pure lines. Okay, pure lines are developed. So here the pure lines, after that, as what are the plants are produced, that is artificially we are selected. So what are the main better one are there in the area? Suppose here pure lines, there are two different plants are this cross hybridized. As a result, here the number of varieties, such a variety can be product of number of plants. So in these plants we are selected, artificially we are selected. So as a result, okay, artificially selected from this. So such a plants only we are used. Such a plants, we are 100,000 plants are present. In the 1,000 plants, from that we are only it is nearly about 10 plants are, maybe 100 plants are the plants with the desirable features are present. Such as desirable features, it can, what is the main desirable features, desirable characters are present. Such a desirable characters of these plants, it can be increasing the yield and also increasing their nutrition quality or maybe nutrition values and also resistant to disease. Such a capabilities present, such a variety. Okay, so once again see this classical plant breeding means cross or hybridization of pure lines. Two different varieties are taken, as well as artificial. What are the hybrids produced? Such a hybrid artificially selected from this. These are the hybrids are produced. So in this, from this, here they are taken from artificially selected. Artificial means which one they are identified. So which one artificially identified? Such a plants having with the desirable features only present. Such a desirable features of these plants, here yield is more, nutrition is more, and resistant to disease also more. That's it. This is the classical plant breeding. After that, what is this? Genetics. So genetics and molecular biology. Okay, this molecular biology is developed. These branches are developed. So this genetics and also molecular biology and also other branches. Particularly, you can see this is the tissue culture also. So this tissue culture also developed. These are used the plant breeding. That is particularly the plant breedings are well developed. The plant breeding techniques are after that well developed. Okay, the genetical characters are different branches are developed, and also molecular biology is well developed, and tissue culture techniques are developed. All these branches are used in this plant breeding. So nowadays they are producing the different crop varieties. Okay, this one. So after that, next is concept traits or characters incorporate to the crop plants. Traits or characters, okay, traits or characters incorporate to the crop plants. What are the traits? Traits means another name, it is characters. That means here desirable traits. Okay, what is this one? Here desirable traits. Trait means the normal traits are, suppose having, you can see we are having all human beings having most of the similar features are present, but everyone we are different. Why? Because some specific traits are present, so that's why everyone their behavior is different. So but genetically 99.9% it is all are same, but that 1%, 0.1% that is different. Why? Because that is a specific genes are present everyone. Like such a way plants having, so every plant species are different in types. Why? Because they are having different traits are present, different characters, genetical features are present. Such a trait, suppose particular plant, mango tree. Mango tree, you can see nearly it is more varieties are present. Every plant, mango tree, their taste is different. Not all fruits are similar in taste. So different in taste are present because of their genes, specific genes. Such a desirable trait, such a desirable trait gives particular taste or maybe particular character, any character maybe. Suppose such a plant or such a trait will give disease resistance, and it may be providing some other character. It's shown. That's it, like this. The traits and character incorporate. Incorporate means introduced into cropland. Introduced into cropland. Okay, very important. The traits or characters. The traits and character is desirable traits. Desirable means well, efficient traits. Okay, superior traits. Okay, not normal. Such a superior trait or a desirable trait, it gives some specific character. It gives to the, it is producing a specific character to human welfare maybe, and any other purpose maybe. Okay, so this desirable trait, whenever it is introduced into crop variety, so automatically what will happen? Normal plant, it can be increasing the yield. Very important these features. 3 marks question point of 2 marks point of view they can ask. Okay, so increasing the yield, increase the yield of the crop plant, and increasing the quality, Suppose it may be yield, that productivity, their quality can be increases. That desirable character, it can be introduced in the crop plants. What will happen? It is increasing their quality maybe. Okay, and also next, increasing the tolerance to the environmental stresses. Environmental stresses means here drought, okay, temperature, and salinity. Okay, these are, whenever it is water is less or low or high, maybe such a condition, so such a stress these plants are face. Such a condition, their stability is maintained and also gives better yield also. So all this temperature and salinity condition is up and down. So such a situation also, this what is the plants are, such a crop plants are here, stability they are maintain their features. Okay, and also next, one more features, it is resistant to the pathogens. Main, it is resistance, main particularly here resistance to the pathogen. That means increase the resistance to the pathogens. So that means any virus attack, bacteria and also fungal attack will be there. So they are normalized. These are main pathogens. Some of the pathogens are, it can be damage the crop. So whenever it is these traits are incorporated, it's not damaged. So because of such a resistance, the plants or the crop variety increasing their resistance. So it is resistance to the pathogen. That's it. These are, whenever it is affected the crop, it is not affected the crop variety. That's it. And also next, one more point. What you wanted to ask here in the crop varieties, particularly what will happen means it is increase tolerance to, increase the tolerance to insect pests. Actually, insects are different, insect pests are different. So insect pest means here actually it is very small insects. What are they? There's a main, what are the example means, here the particularly mosquitoes and trims, lice, and one more example, termites. These are the example, very small, and compared to insects, these are very small creatures also provided. Okay, so these are very small, the very small, or these mosquitoes it can be damaged. So whenever this increase the tolerance to these mosquitoes and lice like that. Okay, insect pests. Those are called it as insect pests. Okay, the traits or characters are incorporated into crop plants. That means any desirable characters introduced in crop plants, what will happen? It is increasing the yield, increasing the quality, increasing the tolerance to environment stresses, and increase the resistant pathogens, and increase the tolerance to insect pests. Okay. Next class we are going to discuss plant breeding techniques. Okay.